All right, out here in the Florida Keys still, and well, we fixed a couple things. We got our rudder fixed up, and all my gear's in order. I'm sitting on anchor. It's blowing 20 knots again, right? Typical thing here. But instead of making these throwaway days, they're bridge troll days. There's probably like 5-6 bridges that are pretty good and easy to access from a kayak. Last time we did this, we did the Gulp minnows. Today I want to try to do a Gulp's shrimp session. Right now it's 10 o'clock. We'll fish till about 2, maybe 2:30. See what jumps on our line here. Take it from there, man. We're on a full moon, rising tide, dirty water. We had a week of northeast winds, so the winds have been pumping. The areas to get to and explore, sure there's some options, but really at the end of the day, hitting up these bridges seems to be the best move for me. And I got started mid-morning. I got a wonderful wind knot to show you. But other than those details, let's get them. Oh, I missed something there. And I don't know, we do 3-4 casts at a bridge span. Sometimes you find a hot zone, right? Sometimes you don't find too much. But hoping this Gulp shrimp's gonna be a pretty cool choice on my end. Hopefully we're not gonna have too many technical difficulties. This is the camera that kind of gave up on me 2-3 weeks ago. It's a new camera actually, but yeah, it dropped out on me and had to do a voiceover. That's my favorite, we know that. So let's see, man. Everything's working today. We're on a full moon. Hopefully we learned a couple things. And if we didn't, well, hopefully I can still piece something together. Ooh, getting some bites. Definitely getting those grunts are probably whacking these jigs, but they're could be a little too small. Maybe some mangrove snappers. I missed him too. It's 3 bites we missed. Curious to see if we end up like seeing any snook. I mean, a couple different fish we could probably bump into today. Snook would be a new addition because we've had those cold fronts. Mangrove snappers, obviously, and jacks, mutton snapper. It'd be cool to see if we get a mutton snapper on one of these little bridges. I know it happens. I've never caught a good-sized mutton on a small bridge. Anything else I can think of? Well, I think we should start with, can I think of my first bite that's going to end up in the kayak? That doesn't seem like it's happening. These first few casts. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what's already different. Remember last time we went here, how many little jacks I was catching, like pretty much instantly? Sitting on anchor, I made 5 casts here in 8 feet of water. Water's kind of rushing up against these pilings. Yeah, but I didn't get a bite from, at least from a jack. I've had those grunts, I think, hit my lure. It's the same thing, I think that was a grunt. There we go. Oh man, suck. ISV suck. I think these are grunts. Well, we know we had a couple bites there. I think that was coral, actually. The little chunk of coral. All right, let's try that again then. One more cast there. Some small stuff. Fish really orient to these concrete pillars though. Not a little bit out here, but those concrete pillars are where it's at. Something really small, man. A little mangrove snapper. Okay, I think that's what a lot of these bites are. What I remember at 7 Mile Bridge the other day though is don't waste too much time in a spot. So I think I already want to move if that's the first bite there. It doesn't give me too much confidence. I feel like those bigger snappers want to come out, bite something, and then you're going to start downsizing quickly. And as soon as you really start bringing on those small fish, you know it's over pretty quickly, I think. So I think really what I want to do here is not even anchor it. You know, anchoring is a nicer viewing experience, but I'm going to do this the way I think we should. And that's fast. Hard and fast. Slow and fast. Whatever you want to call it. Quick and fast. The non-dilly-dally version. Especially now that our rudder's working. I think I'm going to be pretty efficient at all this. This water's definitely murkier, right? Definitely got like that milky-ish blue. Kind of made one cast over there. It's probably where you might pick up a mutton snapper in those areas. Yeah. Still a lot of fun, man. Nice fish. Gulp shrimp. Jack. Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of those, the Jack Crevalles. Probably almost always here. Especially that size. I wonder if you can get some of those bigger jacks here. I've never caught like a true big Jack Crevalle in these Florida Keys yet. I've seen one or two though, but like I said, I know other people have. It's never happened to me, but I think this span has got a lot of jacks already. Oh, no, that's a decent mangrove, man. Look at that. We're trying to back up at the same time. That is a decent mangrove snapper. Probably 10 or 11 inches. Not as big as what was on 7 Mile the other day, but you know, if you really needed some fish for dinner, you got one there. One mangrove. No, that's my second or third cast over here. Bet you could catch some honker mangroves under this little bridge too if you really brought the right baits. I didn't bring my live well this year. Last year I brought a live well, brought those live pinfish, but you know, man, they're so hard to keep alive. I just didn't have too much luck with them. So, I mean, I caught a couple of nice fish on them, but mostly like short grouper stuff like that. Is that going to be my only bite on that span? Yeah, it might be. You know, maybe just a few of those mangroves there. try an unedited video with those slow pitch jigs. Short skid jigs, you know, that's my comment section lights me up every time I'm casting those kind of like slow pitch designs, even though that particular jig is considered a casting jig in Japan, or, you know, kind of designed as one. But everyone just piles on me, oh, you're doing it wrong, you kook. You're supposed to, you know, fish up and down in 700 feet. Those are kind of like the shallow water jigs, so. Okay. Gulp shrimp's doing some work here. Well, I don't want to anchor unless I'm really confident I'm going to be catching big ones. Some of these mangroves, and this one's pooping on my hand though, but some of those mangroves and other fish, I'm noticing they have like black spots on. A couple of yellow jacks got it. Somebody can comment, I'm sure, like, what is up with that? Is that a keys thing? Not too sure. Is that angle better? Yeah. That's already a superior snapper to jack ratio, right? Last time we came here, what do we have, like, I don't know. We had a lot of jack crevalles. Only a few snappers, so we're on 2 snappers so far. I haven't had too many of like junk taps or small taps, grunt taps, a few. These Gulp shrimps are pretty durable too. A lot of bites here now. Like, it seems like they just started. Like 3-4 bites on that piling, but I'm thinking those are those small snappers too there. Oh, he ripped my, no, I thought he ripped it. They, you know, what happens is a lot of times those fish grab your tail and then pull it down the shank of the hook and you're just goofing around, so. I really appreciate that I could do these videos though. It seems like they're doing really well from a viewership standpoint. Is I'm not the most confident at this kind of stuff. It's not that I don't fish and magically edit. I feel a little, I don't know, I wouldn't say insecure. It's like I feel like I do too many dumb things in a video, like say something stupid, just ramble incoherently. But it does feel a little bit better knowing that I could ramble incoherently a little more here and not feel the wrath of my audience. So, like, 1 or 2 people are just like, oh, I hate these long videos, man. They're too long. Yeah, and I get it, but you put it on in the background at work, driving somewhere. Only thing, sometimes maybe I won't concentrate as hard on fishing because I am trying to fill in a lot of gaps by talking. But maybe we'll hit a point where I'll level up and say, hey, we got a serious chance at a big fish here, so let's pay attention. All right, that's like 2-3 bites there, and then there. Maybe my talking might, you know, they don't like that either. I don't know. 2-3 bites on the Gulp shrimps and done since. There's a lot less jacks here, so the action might suck on this this episode. So really, we're hoping for jacks to fill in the action. This might be what we're dealing with here. Not too many jacks then. Probably piled in one of these deep holes though. All right, let me make one more cast here and then we're gonna cover a couple other spans down the length of the bridge. I'll keep mangroves if I get like some 13s or 14s. I think I might keep one yellow jack for poke bowl, sashimi. Been eating them in a couple different ways. They're excellent eating fresh, but I see a lot of guys posted on Facebook or just like loading up a trash bag's worth. I guess if you need food, it's one thing, but like in terms of, a casual angler, you really need one of these yellow jacks. They're good fresh in some kind of really exotic preparation, in my opinion, but maybe good grilled whole. I've tried them grilled whole a couple times now. I just don't find them quite as good as pompano, for example. But the other thing I know, for example, is, yeah, man, you gotta light these fish up. It's like they get kind of bored of your presentation, or you rip one or two of them out of their holes and that's it. They know right away something's up. Or maybe you bring in a shark. Yeah, could be the last part of that puzzle. You bring in the bull shark. He's swimming around now. Even a 4 foot, 5 foot blacktip shark. He's swimming around now. Kind of turns them all off probably. And you're still getting the little taps right along the columns, but the first 3 casts were the most aggressive fish in the pack, it seemed like. And then it's just not happening anymore. Then it's like all these little fish I'm pulling off constantly. One's gonna get me. No, good. I'm worried about that. It's gonna go over to the right and wrap me up. Yeah, I'm good on the jacks, man. If I had to make 10 casts to get a jack to bite, I think it's time to move to the next band. Just looking over to my right. Where'd that gulp shrimp go? He didn't swallow it, did he? There's somebody on the shoreline and I was looking away. Oh man, I lost that gulp shrimp then. Shake it into the water. There's a couple guys, I don't know if they're bank fishing or what they're doing. But either way, a couple people just showed up and these gulp shrimps can be kind of harder to rig. Oh, it was a bad cast. All right, we got a lot of fish under us. I don't know if those are all jacks or something nefarious. Oof. Let's see. See that? Those should be jacks. You can hope. Gotta take this sweater off soon too. I hope those are jacks, but we'll make a cast kind of further away from them. I mean, what else could they be? A lot of sharks with that them. I haven't been sharked on these little bridges yet, but I know people who have, so I'm always just cautious of that too. See some blow-ups out there from jacks. Wow, we didn't get a bite there. Isn't that crazy? Oh, missed one. Alright, that was not a productive couple casts right there. Not at all. Let's try somewhere else then. a little bit of a slower start than I think I'd like. All right, let's get that cruise control feature on. This cruise control stuff's pretty nice on this kayak, though. I'm not gonna lie on that. So. A little bit of a weirder start, man. So. Start on some of these shallower pilings then. It is interesting, some of these bridges have their preferences of look downs or jacks. 7 Mile was pretty good the other day, but I think I timed that right before that front. That front came through. We'll see if we can duplicate that though. Bigger snapper at 7 Mile were awesome. So, well, see if the Gulp shrimp does anything different. Last time we did the Gulp minnows, yeah, we're not on too many bites so far. I wonder, you know, with these bridges too, like what really the seasonal movements are probably pretty interesting. What happens? You know, I wonder. You know, some years I've seen tarpon on these little bridges too. They were the smaller, but the size you want in a catch from a kayak. You know, under 40 inches. Like, I'd say most tarpon, I'd say up to 60 inches is it's not too bad to handle on the kayak. Every time I've hooked a tarpon over like 60, 70 pounds. I've been on I call it the end game, right? When you have next to the kayak. This kayak is probably a real nightmare to handle a tarpon. You have a high center of gravity on this kayak, so it's a great kayak for that. But sometimes handling really big stuff is not easy on the EP on this Old Town model. Okay. I just found the jacks in a different universe. Sure looks like it. No, not good. Just changed zip codes from the last time we came here. Yeah, okay. It takes a second sometimes. Especially got 10-pound braid on here. Oh, man. Hitting columns of the bridges. Light me up. Light me up. Still got 8 feet of water, which is a decent depth. It did take a while to find those yellow jacks last time we came out here too, though, if you remember. Those things didn't really just jump in the cooler either. Ooh. This is different, I think. It's like sometimes it's really hard to tell when you get a jack or a snapper. I'm still not quite too familiar between the difference of the take. This one's staying down while the last jack kind of did a big zigzag across the street, right? Little mutton. Oh no, did he swallow it? Yeah, he's good. He's right on the back of the roof of the mouth there. The last thing you need to do is gut hook a mutton. Now we're good. Did try to take it a little deep. That's why I like these long nose pliers to have them. These are made by Rapala. They're pretty good. There you go. We're gonna deal with it. I got sucked in. The current wants to take me. Take me. Wow. Feels like when you get close to these pilings, man, fish don't want you. They know you're trouble. Two bites on these pilings, huh? Something really small there. This Gulp shrimp sucks. Want those Gulp minnows again. I mean, Gulp shrimp is like one of the top, probably 5 selling saltwater lures out there, but I'm just like, okay, guess it's not really, not doing what I'm hoping it's gonna do. All right, one more cast, next piling set. Only getting 2 bites per piling set. What's valuable here, man, is like, is it the lure I'm using? Or is it the change of conditions? I think it's definitely the change of conditions. But the jacks have become a unique commodity so far. There are one keeper mangrove snapper, maybe the other one was also, but nothing different. No change in size class yet. As soon as you get close to that bridge, though, these fish seem to be like, hey, there we go. Oh, that felt like another mutton snapper. They have like that tap that the jacks. So when you fish these areas, the jacks don't really have a bite. They kind of just show up and they're on the end of your line. The snappers have like a sharp bump. Whoa, tarpon, 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 tarpon. Okay, that's new. Might have to, we do have one setup. We could land that 40-inch class tarpon with us. Let's see if we hook another one. That was like a 40-incher or so. He wasn't too big. But you saw that. That was 100% a tarpon. Right. Is my microphone on? Yeah, it was giving me trouble last time. Gulp shrimp tarpon. All right, we get one more bite from that thing. They're kind of hard to hook in the middle of the day, too. Do we switch to pure snooze fest? Because we're gonna switch to heavier leader. I have some 30-pound 40s and 50s at the house, but 30-pound tarpon that size would be perfect to take down on the kayak, honestly. Right now I've got 20-pound leader on here, so. All right, let's keep moving then. Good amount of commotion. Oh, I'm excited. I'm making more mistakes immediately here. That could be like the 1 or 2 resident tarpons on here, though. You add an S to tarpon after if it's plural. That leader is jacked up. All right, let's retie. I think that's the first thing we should do, even if we don't want to up to heavier tackle, because pound. I'm gonna stick with 20, but I do need to retie. I think I've got 15 or 12 on there, so let's try it. Little Guggen swivel. Everyone always doesn't really, people don't like barrel swivels. I am a big fan of them because, man, they make tying so much quicker. You know, you break off, you get frays, you're lobbing around out here in the kayak, you know. It takes a lot more time to even do a uni to uni than for me to do one of these things. Tarpon's pretty cool. I'm going under the seat. It's a good hook on here. I think if we managed to bury it, you know, I don't think I'd have great odds at it. It reminded me, in Panama, I once hooked a really big snook. Probably my favorite catch of the last 5-10 years. Because, you know, we were fishing a beach in Panama, really didn't know what was going to be there. Crap, my, oh man, not good, man. What did we do there? Lousy loop knot, alas. But anyway, yeah, we're fishing in Panama. I wrapped my fishing one of the beaches there. There's a 15-foot tide or so. I think it was about 15. It was a massive tide. So imagine 15 feet differential. And we're fishing high tide in this inlet. It was so rough and crazy. And one of the local kids did catch like a big corvina. Corvina looked more like a kingfish or a whiting. And I was like, oh, that's the coolest thing I ever seen. And we're like 20 minutes into fishing, not many bites. Hook a snook that did a jump like that tarpon. I was like, oh my gosh, I got a Panama tarpon. Then I was like, oh my gosh, I got a Panama snook. That was like the heaviest snook I've ever caught for sure. It's probably like 42, 43 inches. You're allowed to keep them there. But yeah, that fish, I'll never forget that thing. Something different too. We back up again, and we're getting sucked in by this current there. I think a lot of these juvenile tarpon can show up here too. These are jacks, or maybe look downs. I don't know what they are. Keep bopping my jig and chasing me down. Jack, right? Yes. Get out of here. That jack tore up this Gulp shrimp quickly. So what I'm going to do is just cut off the nub. So you get a couple more uses out of these sorts of things after doing that. I'll tell you what, one of my few tarpon hooks in North Carolina was on a pompano jig. That was probably a 60, 80 pound fish. Sent him into the air, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I hooked a tarpon on a pompano jig. I mean, I've hooked a couple in North Carolina. Only larger tarpon I've caught have been here. But yeah, I'll never forget that pompano jig hookup. I see them often in North Carolina, but you ask around local, they're really hard to hook. They're usually moving through a lot of areas. There's areas you can catch them though and target them a bit more. But not casually like this, where we're just like, oh, it's blowing 20. Screw it, let's go sit under this bridge. There's a lot less jacks though. I think they definitely figured out with this cooler weather that we just came through. Like that. I haven't seen too many barracudas on my trip either. That's like another fish we haven't seen. Usually I do see quite a few barracudas, like the larger barracudas. I haven't seen a single large. I take it back, I've seen one. Usually I'll see quite a few. Almost every trip I end up seeing a barracuda or two. I think there's a few jacks here where we're on something's hitting my jig and keep missing them. Alright, let's try this set of pilings. I think we're gonna just keep bouncing around. Gulp shrimps look so silly though. They do. I got a couple of those backwater tarpon areas. Should give one or two of those a try. I haven't really looked at them lately. They can be hard to even get going some days, those tarpon. Something nice. I think that's a jack though. He's zipping around a lot now. Whoa! This might be a bigger one actually. Don't lose him. Oh, we gotta keep him out of that bridge. He's going to the left. Oh, he's charging me. Stop charging me. Good. Let's see what this is. Whoa! That's a light rod though. It's gotta be a jack, right? Man, the water's murky. That's a jack, yeah. Is that a larger one? That could be a larger crevalle. Yeah, he's a little bit bigger. I don't know about swinging him in with that leader. All right, there's been a couple of changes since the last front. Unfortunately, oh man, kind of opened up that hook too. We could try to bend that back. Yeah. Whoa. Sorry. I think these are all jacks here. I'm gonna try to rescue that hook though. This is not my favorite thing to do sometimes. I do feel like after you... Nope, I've had some grease to that. I think we got it. Let's bend it a little more. Still kind of bent out. Alright, we're having a different day with the Gulp shrimp. I think it's just conditions. It's not really magic lures, but I think it tells a better story if I at least switch it up, right? Oh man, this is weird cross current here. It's hitting me pretty good. I think I got a bunch of these jacks under me. There's fish under me there. See those aren't sharks. Those look like jacks, but let's see. I kind of want to hook them out there. I got more wiggle room. Hooking something down here is not the best strategy, probably. Yeah, let's move back out. Honestly, let's give this set of pilings a quick shot. Ran over these fish's heads too, so this is shallow here, 5.3. Alright, that's it. Boom, perfect cast then. Had a little bite there. It's the shallowest we've fished so far. This might be too shallow, honestly. Man, this water's so much murkier than the last time too, though. It's been got kind of muddied up last week and a half. Canals are clean and stuff like that, but the passes have gotten chocolatier. I like that better for the mutton snappers. I feel like they're easier to fool on lures. There's a lot of jacks there, isn't there? I feel like even though there's bigger jacks here, that's a better chance of a larger something else too, though, probably. Let me try and drop anchor. Smaller, but hey. Oh, that's a nice yellow jack, man. Alright, so this fish is the yellow jack, right? It's got no real, man, his like lightning bolts are faded out. Usually they got some pretty cool patterns. This almost looks like an amberjack, but it's definitely a yellow jack. He really swallowed that deep. I think if we can't get him out, we're gonna keep him. Actually, it's not as deep as I thought. Yeah. We got him bleeding. Let's keep him. Yeah, I gotta keep one for my poke bowl. But yeah, get these guys on ice, just bleed them out. They're really good in that sense. If you do all those steps, really good to eat. Nothing like the other jack crevalle. These are closer to amberjacks, but you don't have worms really, so. Been eating one or two of these a week since I've been here. Okay. Let's see, we got any smudge from fish splash? Just a little bit. I think we're holding on anchor pretty good too. Sorry, I gotta adjust that view. Gulp shrimp's bringing less action, but hey, look, we got bigger size jack, creval. No, that's not too exciting to some, but got a tarpon hookup, one yellow jack. We're definitely seeing less numbers of those little jacks. Maybe we'll see a surprise or two doing this by the end of today, though. Downsizing has begun, I guess. Got to do the Ikejimi, my kayak. I got to do that right in my lap, you know, work with things to hurt me right there. Sorry, being a little sarcastic. Just bleed them in the ice, man. Every time I hear somebody tell me to do the Ikejimi in my kayak, yeah, I know there's a method to it, but really the less sharp things, I didn't even like tagging fish for North Carolina, man. I just felt like needed to do that in a boat. I think I had a couple bites there. Man, that sun feels nice though. It's got some jacks here. Gulp shrimp's doing pretty good though. Getting some smaller jack bites now, I think. Wonder if the permit really got over here. What time of year? Do they want clean water? Getting a couple bites here still though. The permit's one of the ones I'm kind of mystified by still. But, yeah. I think it's one of those things eventually, if I'm here right time of year, right spots. I kind of like, man, I love just doing it by myself in the Keys too. It's like, there's just so much access, and I am waiting on good weather though. That's one thing I noticed this past 2 weeks. It's just like I'm not getting the weather I had in previous years. Bit of a cross current here that's making it hard to get that jig down where I want it to go. All right, let's make one more cast here. Yeah, got nice and comfy on anchor, but it's not doing much for me. Oh, perfect. Saw that. It's going to get me to go right across this whole zone. That's it. I'm getting a couple smaller, weirder bites out there now. Feels like they may be grunts or something like that. I don't know. I think it's time to just yank up that anchor though. Just try one more shot right here. Gulp shrimp, you can do it, man. I got faith in this Gulp shrimp right now. It's giving me a different day than last time I used these Gulps, the Gulp minnows rather. Temperature gauge was broken. It says it's 174 degrees. Be interesting to see what it is. I'm guessing it's probably about 68. Yeah, it feels like somewhere around there. It's not cold. Surprised we didn't get a snapper here. Some straps here. Oh man, all right. What else is going on in the world, man? Obviously, I've been following this drone stuff up in Jersey right now. I don't know by the time this video releases what's the newest development going to be. So it'll be interesting to hear an old perspective if it's already a waste of time, but it is a fascinating story to follow. I've been sitting around at night for an hour here in the Keys hoping I could see one or two of those things, but it's nice and comfortable out at night at 65, 65 degrees at night. So you just a little sweater, you're good to go. I could imagine being somewhere else. Oh, there's something there. Oh, got him. I can imagine trying to be in the Northeast. It's like 26 degrees at night. Looking for one of these drones to surface. Yeah, I don't like these little jacks, man. I'm kind of over them. I'm a look down kind of guy. It's my elitist snobbery kicking in there. But I can imagine sitting out there in the cold trying to wait for those things to show up. We didn't hook the tarpon on this one, it was the next one over. So this one, I hooked one of the little jacks and I got sucked in and I gave it a minute just now. These Fuegos, man, if you need a $100 reel that's incredible, it's Fuego 2000. I've got 3 of them right now. These are the newest ones. They fixed a little bit of that flex or wobble that they used to have from the old material, so really good. I like this for $100, man. I like them better than my Stratics for sure. Stratics they're good reels, but they just don't like being used like Elias V Fishing uses stuff. So this yellowjack is still thumping around in there. No bites that cast. So I think last video we did this incoming side. Today I think we're gonna get a switch to the outgoing. There's something there. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a little different scenario to see how things bite on the outgoing. I have to go up on the other side here. I might pop into the opposite side. There's something there. What's the flavor there? Jack Crevalis really swallow these jigs pretty often, man. Big offender to that. Shark's gonna get them. No shortage of them returning to the food chain here, though. Well, Jigs holding up, though. Let's Same thing, I think I gotta pinch it. Oh. Well, from a value standpoint, right? Top of these Gulp shrimp, what, cost 22 bucks? I'll tell you what, they haven't gone up that much from inflation, right? Because they've been $20 or so for a long time. But yeah, they're generally about 22 bucks. They're pretty good value. I mean, I've only went through, what, 2 or 3 of them? Yeah, it's not bad. My lens got some? No, we good. Yeah. It's really only the Jack Crevalles that are getting them in the back of their throat, too. I feel like I gotta cast a little bit more into these tubes sometimes. I'm coming up shy. I'm like kind of staying more on the edge there. I think if I want to see some of these bigger mangrove snappers, casting into the tubes is probably gonna help a bunch. Yeah, see? Might not look like much, especially if you're not from around here, but these are a tough fish to target on lures sometimes, man. They really are. Like of size, you know, that's probably a typical one you can catch on lures, like 9-10 inches. But if you can start dialing in some 16-17 inch ones on lures with consistency, oh man, you got it going. You really do. Ooh, I felt a pump there. Got him out. Got a jack that did that little tomfoolery on me. Those yellow jacks can really be up in the structure too. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Nerding out. Fish nerd Elias. Look at him go. Look at me be a nerd. Here we go. I was talking my smack. Like, that's the one. We gotta lay down a rod or two there. Sit into this tube. Alright, this is a special, not so super special, but this ain't that easy in my book. It's all about the goals you set for yourself when it comes to fishing and the challenges you experience. So everyone's going to have a different challenge. Everyone's going to have a different bar, whatever they find accessible. That's what makes fishing so special. You know, to me, these fish are some of the most challenging, but like, it's attainable, right? I find I can do this, and you know, they're abundant, but catching a big one's kind of fun and difficult. And that's really what fishing comes down to, man. It's having that experience, even if it's just for you. This is a 14-inch mangrove snapper. That was on a Gulp shrimp. A little bridge reward for me there. I'm going to show you him so closely. And that's what I was hoping to see, man. Cool. Look at that bar they get to. We're going to eat him. Let's give him a big thank you. There it is. 14-inch mangrove. Pop, pop. The largest one I've caught on a little bridge with a lure. Done it on charter boats that, you know, you got in a couple of those better sized mangroves. Got cast into those tubes sometimes though. So. Okay. Let's come zip around back the other side there. Ooh, it's pretty windy, man. Got these new microphones. You can't tell anymore like you used to in the older videos. I'm coming around the corner there. I got popped by that. All right. Last time we fished the backside, we didn't get much. So, but that could be more tidal than anything. So let's just stick with what's working. And right now it is to fish in this zone. Get our stuff together. It's a Gulp shrimp. This is a barefoot jig. Tim Barefoot out of North Carolina makes this. I'd check these out if you're kind of local to Wilmington, but he's got a following in Florida too, I believe. Did I leave my hook sharpener in the car? I did. Seen him a little bit bent out there, but yeah, it makes a great jig. Full moon snappers. "14-inch mangrove, 14-inch white perch, 14-inch crappie are the elusive three." 14-inch croaker, that's the other one. That's the old back in the day croaker, 14 inches. Pipe there. Tide's slowing down actually. I think we're about to hit the start of the outgoing here. I'm surprised we haven't picked up like a single smaller Goliath or black grouper in the 2 days of doing this also. You know, or at least break one off. I haven't said, okay, that's definitely a Goliath. That feels like a jack. Maybe not. Or a mangrove. It's another keeper, man. It is, but I'm good. You know, I kind of prefer the ones that got that, you know, that fillet on them. These guys, you got to cook them whole. They got enough of a fillet, but I prefer those that next size up. I'll take my Gulp shrimp back though. Dum, 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 dum. It's still sharp. All right, seems like the. Oh no, we lost one under the receipt. Here we go. Seems like the Gulp shrimp. I don't know if it's the color, but had some decent success with the mangroves already. Because it's probably, if we're just counting keepers, that's definitely number 4, I think. I think that would be keeper number 4 probably. So I don't know if it's the white lure or it's the actual shrimp profile. Shrimp now. Let's make one more cast in this tube, and then we're going to move on. That's kind of where I hooked that last one. I feel like they can move out of those, you know, corners and holes pretty quickly. Like those snappers are pretty mobile. If they see something they like, they're going to come cruising at it. Oop. Felt like a smaller one. Cubera snapper is the other one, right? I haven't caught a Cubera in a few years in the Keys. I have caught, oh man, if you really want to see like snapper, an older snapper video, caught like a 24-inch Cubera snapper on a dock. Maybe 3-4 years ago now. And I was like, that was one of the wildest things. A 4-inch diesel minnow. I think it's time to move to the next set of pilings. I feel like that's how these things go, man. They got 1 or 2 fish in them that want to come out and eat. And then you just want to keep moving. That's it. That's really the strategy, Elias. The Elias V fishing strategy. You know, when you fish bait, you might want to set up shop in an area longer. But when you do this artificial stuff, I feel like it's just, I mean, you can probably do that with live bait too, but, you know, it doesn't make sense for me to keep working that exact same hole. There might be another 3-4 nice snappers in there, but I don't think they'll bite again. I think that's it. You're done. So, I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt. Everyone's got their own strategy. Like, I don't know if I'm doing, you know, you'd know if I'm doing really well if there was 4 or 5 kayaks out here and everybody had like notes to compare and be like, okay, this is what I did, this is what I did. Then you could be like, you know, that's a good way also to fish and learn with people, right? Like a lot of times I fish alone, and sometimes I do miss fishing with somebody that's, you know, up to a good level, that I can be like, oh my gosh, I did that so poorly, like that execution was awful, I could say. And then we can compare our experience and notes, etc. When you fish alone, don't get me wrong, I love the fishing experience, but sometimes, right, I'm in my late 30s now, I could be set in my ways that I only want to do it this way. And I think I already am, like I don't like chasing reports. You know, when you start fishing, you want to know where the fish are biting, all that stuff. Oh, man, I don't care. I want to go fish. I've also become a creature of habit. Like, I fall back on areas that I just feel like I'm comfortable in. Like this bridge, for example. I'm pretty comfortable here. I like fishing here. It's nice. There's no people. Maybe there's a kayak or two occasionally. But it's not like I got boats zipping around and things that are going to distract me and make me just, you know, feel like it's a lousy day on the water. Here, I'm enjoying myself. I got what, 1 snapper? Oh, I missed. That was the 2nd snapper probably. But you know, I got a snapper or 2, and I'm like, all right, that's good. Good by me. This is where I hooked that tarpon, but we weren't on slack tide where we hooked the tarpon. When we hooked that tarpon, I think now we're just going with the wind coming down the pipe here a little bit. That's it. Come on. Okay. Tricky. Should be one there. Snapper live in those tubes, right? Getting some bites in that too, but nothing stuck. don't know about that tarpon biting now. Oh, this felt kind of small. Ooh, that's a jack, isn't it? No, it's not. I thought that was going to be a jack. Schmangrover. Pretty good start. Pretty good start. See, is my microphone crap out on me? This microphone gave me a problem the other day. I'm glad it's not giving me one today. Check that camera equipment, man. Hey, another nice one, man. Gonna put them back. I don't need any more today, honestly. It's another 14, man. 14-inch mangrove. Not bad for a unedited trip. Not bad for a throwaway trip, rather. 14. It's pretty good, man. All right. What are we thinking? I'm thinking the Gulp shrimp is a better choice than the what was I fishing with the other video? Than the Gulp minnow. Oh yeah, I'm in Gulp shrimp camp, man. The Gulp minnow caught a lot more. I had a lot more bites with that, but man, we're on 2 good-sized mangroves, a tarpon hookup, and what else? You know, the usual suspects of a couple jacks. So Gulp shrimp. If I need a little bridge action, a little bit more in the quality department, I'm going with the Gulp shrimp. Gulp minnow, you're staying home. It's just that simple. Getting a lot of small bites now, though. It seems like that's always kind of the pattern. You know, you get that one nice fish to come out, and it's boom, little, dink, 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 dink. We haven't caught, we're not going to see like probably the fun fish, though. I think the Gulp shrimp's too big for the pork fish, unfortunately. You guys catch black drum on these bridges ever? I don't think so. I know I've seen them in Key Largo, but I'm not too sure about down this way. They get pretty rare. The furthest I've caught a red drum was Isla Morada. So, it's another one. I bet you can catch them around a couple of those spots, but yeah, see, that's it. They get smart. Hook a couple, move on. I'll probably be able to draw out a couple of those smaller ones here. But I think for the most part, I should just give up, hit the next tube, hit the next one, hit the next one. Just keep hitting the next tubes. Yeah, I knew I was going to get hung eventually. Let's see if we can get it out. Start casting into those tubes. There is a lot of debris down there from this old railroad bridge. Kind of want to try to back it up. Yeah, as you come across, there's like a little bit of a lip, I think, and you can definitely get your bait dragged under there. Yeah, we're losing that one. All right, let's go retie out there, and then, you know, give that a minute. Cool off. Lost one jig. Let's do it, man. We got no current. Why don't we just drop anchor? We got some swivels here somewhere. I thought I packed some. Packed some Guggen swivels for me. Any Guggen swivels in there? Nope. There's a Guggen swivels. Huh, I might not have packed any. So, you know what that means. Let's do a splice knot. Splice. $6.20. Okay. All right, so when it comes to splicing braid, this is 10 pound. I'm gonna double up my braid. That's what I like to use. You can tie an FG knot at your computer chair to tell me how much better you are than me at tying knots. I can also tie an FG knot in the computer chair, but out here on the water, going uni to uni. And if my knot breaks to that tarpon, he decides he wants to eat my next gulp shrimp, give me the told you so. Okay. On the Flora, I'll do 4 turns. Typically, my hands are really wet, so I guess we got to use my teeth. Don't use your front teeth. I've chipped my front teeth once. Try to get those tag ends somewhere they're not going to blow into the ocean. I like to leave a little bit of extra line for the. This way the fuzzies don't work their way all the way. You know, like when the braided line gets real fuzzy. Try to keep that from working all its way up. Next barefoot jig. Oh, that's not a barefoot jig. That's a different one. Got 2 more of these with me. Boom. What's that jumping around? Is that a mackerel? It's like a mackerel on my left side just now. Small Cero or Spanish. I know the Spanish show up. I don't know if they show up on the bridges like they do in North Carolina. They can. You know, I don't know if they do some of those things where those Spanish mackerel end up in the Keys pretty often. Honestly, I'm not like tripping over myself to go target Spanish mackerel, but you know, if they were here, I'd target them. All right, back in action there. Boom, boom, boom. Anchor held too. Can't ask for more. All right, we got to change a tide just now, so we're gonna have to probably fish closer to these bridge spans then. think that's going to be a good move. I think we're going to have to, let's pick up anchor in a second here. Keep that camera so you're seeing what I'm doing. Okay. I have such a great time doing this though, man. This is like my favorite fishing now these days. There's a lot of fishing I like that I think really makes lousy videos. Like I like going after white perch and, you know, the winter in North Carolina. It's probably something that's really enjoyable to me. The big drum off the beach is fun. Stripers are fun. I do. You know, North Carolina, ever since they closed flounder in North Carolina, it's just not fun to go, you know, fishing in the warmer months and you hook a dozen flounder jigging around to catch one other fish. It pretty much, for me mentally, I hate to say it, I think I've checked out of like a huge chunk of North Carolina's fishing ever since they did that. Like the beach fishing's still fun, the white perch stuff. But like a lot of the structure fishing I like to do, I've kind of checked out minus the sheep's head, but you know, you do sheep's head so many times, it's not that interesting to watch. I still enjoy it on a personal level, don't get me wrong, but like doing the sheep's head for YouTube videos at this point, I'm just like, I'm almost giving up on all of it. Just, I know, you know, big black drum would be cool, but they're hard to find. So, I don't know. You know, I love living in North Carolina, don't get me wrong. I bought a house there. It's been very good to me in that sense. I got opportunities I would never get anywhere else in life, you know what I'm saying? So to get a home in North Carolina is like, it's a dream. Truly living a dream, right? Would have never had that opportunity in most other places. But fishing-wise, man, yeah, after that flounder thing really settled in, I don't know. Let's go catch some mangroves instead. It's really turned into my favorite months to fish are January through March. Summer, I want nothing to do with it. Yeah, and the closure of flounder. I think a lot of people are feeling that way though. They just don't want to deal with it. And we're getting decent mangroves, man. Look at that. These are definitely keepers across the board. They are. Ooh, he got me. It's been a while since one of them went jump, jump, jump. They hurt. If you were wondering. That one's got that shrimp right there. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah, they're not enough to break you open. I mean, I'm sure the larger one can really get you going, but just enough to hurt you. Don't do that with any other 2V fish, like a bluefish or anything like that. You'll be like, oh my God, what did I do? Even a bluefish that size will probably break you open. Spanish mackerel especially. If you come saltwater fishing and you've never really hooked too many fish, Spanish mackerel's teeth are like, that's it. You're bleeding. And it's gonna suck. Spanish mackerel and bluefish, those two for sure. Flounder could get you pretty good too. You never really associate flounder's teeth, but they don't grip you. They just have that cutting mechanism. Oyster toadfish will crush you. Don't get bit by an oyster toadfish. Triggerfish. Oh, triggerfish and pufferfish. They have like those buck teeth. They'll chunk you. Man, they are painful too. Don't do that. Another fish you don't want to get bit by. I've never been bit by one of them, but I know people who have. I've only gotten hit by a big bluefish once. I was handling him, I grabbed the leader, and he jumped right into my forearm. Oh my gosh, I almost fainted when I got on shore. That was probably one of the roughest fish injuries I've ever experienced. Never got nicked by a shark. Yeah, just that one bluefish. encounter that was pretty bad, and never got bit by like a pike or a bowfin, snakehead, no, nothing like that. Never stepped on a stingray. I got barbed twice in my life by those guys too. Alright, so the tide switched to the outgoing now, and I'm not getting any bites. Not there yet. I bet in the next 30 minutes when the tide really gets whipping, I won't be surprised if these fish kind of push onto the upcurrent side there, but we're not ready to make that commitment yet. I've had enough action of good quality size fish working the backside here, so. Had one more bite there just now. Oop. Get a couple bites here still. Seemed like those bigger snapper had to land into the tube almost. We're pretty close to it, rather. But they were happening quick, those bites from those guys. I was using a 20-gram slow pitch jig at the 7 Mile bridge, so maybe I should upgrade to a larger size jig too. Got that slack transition, man, so sometimes you'll experience this. That's really not much bites well on slack. Fish like current to feed in. Oh, the tube monster. I think we got to go on the other side here. But, oh, the rods. Oh, no. We should have went through. We did it bad. We did a bad job. Let's go through. That's a jack. I think he's shaking like a jack. No, I was too slow, man. I should have been a little quicker on my feet with that. Oh, we got him out. We're out. We're out. We're in the clear. Oh no, my other rod's slipping. No, I gave him slack. No, the other rod in my left hand was slipping. Oh god, well, he's there. He's just probably a good old vanilla jack, but I got pumped. It's funny how just the situation does it for you sometimes, right? It's just like a unique way. You're like, oh man. Okay. Just throwing down that tube gets exciting sometimes. If you got away though, I would have had a fish story that, that was a giant fish. I'm telling you, if that got away, I'd be like, oh, lost a giant. That's sea turtle. Hey dude. I think it's going to be more practical to fish this side right now. I don't know, we'll see. Like right now, I just came back out, right? Oh, I missed something there. This is going to be my mortal enemy in the next 30 minutes. See that grass? That stuff gets in these propeller drives. It can be pretty hard to sometimes comb over them. This one's coming right at me. It's like, it's almost like it's laughing at me. Ooh. Another mega mangrove. Let's see, come on, man. I want to let you go. See how deep you got it. They usually don't swallow these lures that deep. There we go. Yeah, that's like in the roof of his mouth. You know, if it's in the gullet, I'll keep it, but on the roof of the mouth, even though I got to get my pliers in there, I'm pretty sure he'll survive just fine. See, something like that, he'll be okay. This is valuable to watch, just seeing how different lures kind of lump up a different catch. You know, lure selection can be more important than you think. Right, today's the day that we're using just the Gulp shrimp pretty much so far. And yeah, it's the same location as a video we did semi-recently, not super recently, but yeah, Gulp shrimp does pretty good. Catching less fish though, right? Only got a couple, still catching some jacks, but you know, it's not loaded with them. Hey, you know what's another fish? Oh, you know what I just realized? I never caught a gaff-top sailcat in the Florida Keys. Are they here? I've caught them in the Everglades, but I've never caught a sailcat in the Keys. It's not like I'm really super excited about catching one, but it just went through my head like, oh. He's missed. He's MIA. Gaff-top sailcat. Super excited about that. Not kidding. Want to see a snook today. Snook would be really cool. The problem is I'm kind of getting blown across, like get like a side cross chop, whatever you want to call it. I'm not getting good shots into these tubes really. Try to do a little bit more of a sweep, you know, sweep down it this way. Definitely helps to get like extra coverage of a zone, you know. I'm spraying some rain bait. That's me. That little bait's jumping around because my braided line's flying through them. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I think there's a lot more fish on the other side though, even though they just picked that one mangrove there. I think the lack of jacks is getting me. I think it's a move back over. Oh, lost it. Dang. Smaller fish there, getting those shorter bites now. I think we're gonna float back through here. Got a couple bites there, but let's see what happens when we flop through there. Really don't want to hook too many fish zipping back and forth like that, though, I think. All right, let's get back in there. Took a little too long for these next couple bites. Let's see. Maybe when this tide really starts ripping. Right now it's not moving fast enough that I think if there was going to be a switch from one side of the bridge to the other, it would have happened already. I think while you got that outgoing tide still moving, at a reasonable pace like this is, you don't have to make those switches. I'm going under the theory this murky water has made the mangrove snappers more aggressive, right? Because they're usually too cautious when it's really clear. And then on top of it, I guess it's kind of sent the jacks elsewhere. There's, like I said, 5 times now as a broken record, less jacks. More tarpon. Here's what's going to be hard, though, is for me to really figure out where there's a good bite now and after this current switch like that. Jack. What is that? Yeah. Mangrove. Another jumbo. Oh, that's a good one too, man. Ah! You got him. It's okay. Let's take a measurement of that one. That is another 14 incher. Yeah, 14. Okay, give me back my Gulp shrimp. Come on. Come on. Sorry, I got a smudge on that lens. Go find a content creator who's got a cameraman and a drone, and all right, that's what we need, right? We're not going to keep anything else unless we got hooked something. But let's pop open that ice. That's usually what I do next. Here, hang on. It's gonna take a second, man. Especially we're gonna need that jack raw. Last thing I need is to be a little warm. Having a great time. Those mangroves are fun too, man. I like that. I like all that. We're only probably about 2 hours into fishing, honestly. It's a pretty good start, man. Wind dropped out just a little bit, but this outgoing tide, it should sync up kind of nicely. See me fishing these little bridges a lot with this HMG inshore. That's a really good light tackle rod right there. Okay, more Gulp shrimp. Apparently you don't need a slow pitch jig. That's what I was kind of high on the other day. Seems like the Gulp shrimp's it's probably just hitting that 3 to 4 inch profile mark. Just a lure large enough for the bigger mangroves, but that's gonna keep the smaller mangroves off. But I think a lot of times I go too big, like a 5 inch is probably still too big. It's like there's definitely a sweet spot when it comes to a lot of these fish. That's a fish right there. What is that? It's doing something different, I think. Jack again? Yeah. Really want to get back on those reefs. I also want to try to do the barracuda thing. Plenty of things I want to get to do. I'm just not getting the weather to do it. But man, you know, low in 20, it's no big deal. Still got a good plan B. Being a bridge troll. We'll be a bridge troll together somewhere. Oh, that's a yellow jack. Okay. He's in my lap now. Don't knock over my tub of Gulp. Yeah, it's a yellow jack. Black spots again. You see those? Couple of those things? I don't know. I've seen that before. Wonder if it's kind of like one of these little diseases they get, or it's no big deal at all. I have never seen any like worms. When I fillet the fish in the Keys, there's never like any worms or anything. Like North Carolina, even the sheep's head sometimes in North Carolina, especially on in the colder months, I'll get like these little white specks. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. They're not like the amberjack squiggly worms. They're just like some other kind of parasite. I'm not too sure. I've seen them a couple times. Getting some bites here. Oh, they're definitely jacks. I saw them just now. Nipped me right at the kayak there. Okay. Yeah, still haven't seen any worms in my Keys catch though. All been pretty clear. I haven't caught, what's the other fish I haven't caught? I haven't caught a puffer fish in the Keys. It's another fish I don't know. Maybe you know if I can catch one of those. Puffer fish. Speckled sea trout. I don't know if they get down this far. I know they're in the Everglades, and I've caught a lot of those too. No. No more bites now. Other thing, you know what? If you're really watching and you fish the Keys a lot, what's the etiquette of fishing docks here? I've heard dock fishing's kind of looked down upon, like, you know, like, oh, don't fish for dock pets and stuff like that. You know, is that like, you know, if I go through a couple canals because it's windy and I want to go just fish, like, is it looked down to go for the docks? It's one of these things I'm not sure. So that's why I haven't done any dock fishing. I've dealt with one or two dock owners that were real stuck up around here too. It's just like, I don't know, maybe it is a thing, just like there's so many other options. You know, if you want to go fish inshore, hit a little bridge. It's too windy to do anything else. So that could be more the reason that I kind of walked away with all that from that. Is that a barracuda? I think I see a barracuda on this piling here. It's either a barracuda or a cobia. That's a barracuda, yeah. Oh, Key West Sailor's Choice. I think that's a barracuda. Oh, it's a snook! It's a snook! Oh my gosh, it's a decent snook. I think that's a snook. Yeah. Was that a cobia? It's got an injury on his head. Damn, he went down. It was either a snook or a cobia. He wasn't a keeper cobia. He came out my jig and ran out of room. Circling this piling. Oh. Well, let's see if he comes back. I thought it was a barracuda at first, but its tail looked... I think that was a snook. He was probably like 32, 33 inches. Or could have been a cobia, but I don't think that was a cobia. The tail looked like a snook doing that. Dang. See if he comes back. Oh, bummer, dude. He went for my jig, but I think he got spooked in the kayak. I don't know. Ooh, got him. Wasn't like a wasn't a jack. It wasn't a barracuda. No. Pretty sure it was something cool. We just missed a nice bite there too, actually. Oh, I'm pumped today, man. Today is ending up to be a pretty decent day. Getting a couple of these. I'm looking at this piling constantly, so. And he has not come back. I think that was a snook. Really think it was. Ooh, got that guy. Jack again? Jack. Yellow jack. Gulp shrimp. Your gulp shrimps, man. That was cool. Very, I don't know how many snook get up on these bridges. It's probably like a small school. You know, I've caught some like 22s, 23s. That was definitely a larger one. I've never gotten a snook over like 30 inches in the Keys though. Alright, this current is picking up right now. My turtle's about to come back out this other side. I saw him just now too. This is pretty fun, man. Really good move to change the technique, or rather the lure for the day. Wonder what else we could try. You should let me know. What other, like, so we did a gulp minnow, gulp shrimp, uncut. What other good lure, like really, you know, solid choice should I use here? Maybe like a bucktail, just a plain bucktail. I don't know, I feel like I need a trailer. Bucktail, uncut. Could do the Mackinaw, but that's a paddle tail. Yeah, we haven't done a paddle tail one yet. That should be the next one. A Mackinaw and a diesel minnow or something like that. Just a smaller paddle tail profile. Wouldn't go with anything too big, honestly. there. A lot of these jacks here, man. Showed up, it seems like. Nobody seems to swallow it quite like this guy. It's crazy these little ones are the ones that are really getting it down there. Wonder, maybe I'm just not feeling the tension on the line soon enough. And hence my gut hooking of them. Their shark's gonna eat you, dolphin's gonna eat you, somebody's gonna get you though. Barracuda. Get my barracudas nice and plump. I don't do much shark fishing, it's not quite the thing I enjoy too much, personally. I have a rule with sharks, they don't, what is it? I don't eat them and they don't eat me. Oh, definitely a few fish there. Did that break off? No. Oh, I took my shrimp, man. Got my shrimp, man. I'm going to take a quick water break, etc. Take a whiz. I think we're about 2 hours into it, so let me just take a real quick break here after this fish. Another nice mangrove, man. Want my Gulp shrimp back too, man. You don't really want it. Here we go. That was a fish. Wow. A lot of weight. Maybe not. Maybe that's a chunk of coral. Sometimes that coral or grass, gives you a little pull. I'm getting a couple bites down there. I don't know about cuberas on these bridges. Do they get like those, 10 to 25 inch cuberas pretty often? I think they do. I've never caught one, but that'd be another cool one. I think maybe I found some grunts or something different that's really just grabbing that jig, holding on, and keep just dropping them. Couple more bites there. Couple more bites here. All right, next spot. Let's take a look, see if that snook showed back up. I'm gonna take a quick whiz, quick bathroom break, and we'll pick right back up. All right. Yeah, it's still blowing pretty good. See, it's white cap and these bridges are perfect for that stuff, man. Give you a little wipe here. All right, microphones are working. I'm working. Fish are biting. Gulp shrimping. It's always kind of a dumb look. I wonder if it's more the scent with these gulp shrimp or what. Oh man, whacked. Do a giveaway, figure out how many times I whacked the top of that bridge there. All right, chip the lead. All right. Like when you cast these gulp shrimp, you see that thing like just twirling like it's gonna, I don't know. It's like a chunk of a hot dog I'm fishing with more than anything. But, I guess it's got the scent and it's got just enough action. Ooh, that's a jack. Nobody else does that. Nobody else I know of, at least. I got splashed. Let's see if we got splashed too. I feel like the jacks don't matter what the condition of your bait is. But you know what? I've seen jacks, especially on like docks and stuff, and when the water's colder. I've seen them get all weird and, in a negative mood too. Jacks are usually pretty easy, but they'll get moody, man. They will. Man, I can't even get this thing on that collar right now. I screwed it up. Smashed the collar. Maybe the jack smashed the collar more than anything. It's a good hook on there. It's an owner. What's the owner? I forgot. It's a number 1 owner. Great for like a 3-inch bait. And it's like a hook that's decent enough. I can't even. Almost got it. I think that's all we're getting. There we go. Yeah, 3-inch. Good hooks for 3-inch baits are tough to find, so I asked him to make these very specifically for my Guggenast. Because, sometimes I like to target the small fish. Most of the time I like to target the small fish, rather. Got some bites there. Yeah, I think there's a lot of smaller mangroves right there. It'll be interesting to see too is like, you know, if these mangroves are just, the larger ones are just not going to show up anymore. Like if they're like some of these other fish that, yeah, they really want that specific tidal window, then you're going to catch smaller ones after that. I mean, I'm getting bites from small fish pretty hard right here. There we go. That hook's still sharp? I feel like I missed way too many bites. Oh, it is. See, right now, the jig's not staying in that strike zone, I think, for a snapper too long. I mean, maybe, you know, they'll come off, but I'm really already back here pretty quickly. You know, two options I have. I could shoot over to the other side to stay on the up current side where I could probably fish a little longer, or put on a heavier jig, so I'm really just plopping right on the backside of those pilings quickly. Let's hit one more set here, and then might have to change our strategies a little bit here. So I'm leaning towards first, instead of going heavier, is to go on the other side. Still catch a fish, catching jacks, but I feel like, you know, we could do something else here too, you know. Sorry, I'm paranoid. My camera just powered off, and it did not. All right. I remember I hung up here last time I was here, somewhere here where these. Oh, I remember it. I was getting just twisted and turned here, twisting and turning. I can't believe I saw a snook. My dumb ass thought it was a cobia. Cobia tail and a snook tail is nothing like. It was definitely a snook. A lot of bites there. Yeah. Yeah, when it comes to these videos too, I'm trying to like fish a lure that there's enough action that like this is entertaining enough that if you got it on your background at work or you're tuning in for 30-minute chunks, you know, you don't have to wait 2 hours for me to get like a bite from that tarpon again. Yeah, because that's really the reality of it. It's going to take me a long time for that potentially hook another tarpon. But throw these shrimps around. Yeah, we're going to get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. You said, like I said, like you said, like I said. Yeah, there's enough surprises here so far. This has been kind of interesting to me. I mean, I didn't really repeat the last go here. We got bigger snappers for sure so far. We jumped that tarpon. Saw a snook. I didn't hook him, but getting these smaller snappers. I almost feel like you're very likely to get these smaller snappers on the down current sides of these pilings too. While those bigger snappers are still in those tubes, I bet. And the bigger jacks probably. We got some rain behind us, oh boy. I think I saw a chance of rain for today. Seeing that right now. short due to rain. We'll see. Hopefully we'll stay dry. Yeah, these spites are getting smaller and smaller, it feels like. This whole set gave me no good bites. All right, let me try the other side here, man. I had no good bites on this set of pilings, and I think I want a clearer view. There's just one malicious cloud behind me there. I think it's just one suspicious cloud. All right. Here. Oh, I'm starting to I got a bite there actually. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a certain point we're going to start getting bites on the back side. That one though. Small stuff though. Schmink. I have to go get ourselves a sweater or something, get out of the rain. Oh man. Got a boat right here. Shrimp tail floating. Fold it up. A little awkward to try to talk to you guys when I got a boat sitting up. I'm gonna go back to the other side of the bridge then. Mangrove. Yeah, nice one. Nice snapper, dude. Nice. All right. Still a bunch of fish right there too, though. Gonna make a move though. I don't want to be around too close to this guy. Getting bites here still though. Got that 12-inch mangrove just a minute or two ago. Maybe it was 13, somewhere around there. Oh, that's who's biting here. It's the sailor's choice. He's out here pooping on me too. This guy looks like he fishes for permit. Make a move. Alrighty. Shake off that junk off of here. Alright, so much for that strategy. I thought it was gonna just keep coming through. But that's alright, we can adapt, figure out what the next move is. Keep working these pilings. That was the last bigger snapper I was out on this side. And I'm not holding with this jig anymore either though. I'm starting to get blown away. Right there. I think all these pilings have some fish right now though. And I'm having a hard time getting the hooks into them though. A little harder now. No slack time. But we're still catching. Like now, I can't concentrate on a zone very easily. As easily, rather. Man, that wind's whipping. Whipped open my hatch even. Ooh, I'm having a hard time figuring this out now. What am I doing wrong that I'm just not getting on that groove like I had earlier? I don't know. It's definitely something's missing from this puzzle right now. I'm just not in the groove like earlier. I felt like earlier I just knew what to do. Had it all mapped out in my head, I guess, before. I think I need to go to a heavier jig, maybe, or maybe I need to go home. Is there anything out here, maybe somewhere? Current's whipping. It's that full moon, so. But I'm struggling to figure out where I'm supposed to go catch some fish now. Had that start, or at the round slack there. Well, I guess we'll just chill out here. Keep it googing. I'm not getting any bites. I don't want to fish next to that boat really either. I'd imagine if you were on a boat and a stupid ass YouTuber came up, you know, even though I was there in that vicinity first, still, you gotta share the water. These are also not my waters, right? So that guy could have been local, so we get the F out of his way. Could have been, this could be his spot. If you want to subscribe to that one, but at the same time, you know, I'm in the way. I don't need to be in the way in a kayak. If he wants it, I'll figure it out, man. That's all I feel like. I need to just learn how to figure it out. If he wants to fish there, let him fish there. Sailor's choice. That was actually excellent to eat, man. That was better than the mangrove, I think. Mangrove was really good, but I think the Sailor's choice was better. No tarpon on this side. I think the next move here really is to be going heavier. Right now I'm at 3/16 ounce jig. Another problem here is I can't really stay put. I'm getting shoved into these pilings, so A useful strike zone time is not great. All right. I think I hit the point where I got to shoot back under the bridge here. I don't know if I have a heavier jig head though for these shrimps. I'm trying to really think what to do here. All right, let's go back on the other side, man. Not feeling this side. I'm just unable to really carefully comb through it. We did get one other nice snapper here, but as I'm coming back down this direction, my presentation's garbage with lures. It's just I'm not getting it like I need to. Here we go. I think we got it now. Yeah, we're just not getting the way we want to show those lures to them. Down properly. Let's see. It's having a hard time doing it. Having a hard time figuring this out again. All right, what are we walking away from this? Gulp shrimps, you're good, but outgoing tides, you're gonna have a hard time, Elias. Two things I'm walking away. That falling tide's not easy. Some kind of structure there. Yeah, jack stopped, everything stopped. The tangles are still going. All right, there we go. Wow, I had a lot of bites here earlier. I had like what, 3 jacks, 1 yellow jack, 2 or 3 crevasse. Oh, there's one. He's gone. I think it was a needlefish actually. Yeah, I had like a couple nicer bites here actually. Marked a bunch of fish. Now I'm seeing nothing. Wonder if they kind of sometimes funnel in that little zone there too. That makes some sense. This current here is not that bad. Got that one. I think all jacks. I think those were all jacks. They had to be. Too aggressive. All right, man. I got wrapped up with my fuegos and struggling here. I think my fuego might be struggling. That, along with me struggling to keep this video entertaining after this last 20-30 minutes. Something a lot of structure on that. Some kind of concrete chunk. Oh, I got getting twisted up too now all of a sudden. Either way, let's keep moving. Sucking now. Man, it feels like 2 different days. The jacks, get away, get away. Those little jacks are definitely out and about now again. I think I have a heavier jig head here. 1 second, so let's take this off. Sorry, Tim, I gotta take it off. Your jigs are great. You did a really good job, but I'm on the down current side here, and 3/16 is just, I'm getting blown away a little too easy. I think this guy weighs a 1/2 ounce. I think that'll keep me kind of in the zones I might want to get into a little more. Let's see if this makes any difference. So we're going up to a 1/2 ounce jig now. Maybe it's a 3/8. Yeah, we were on 3/16 earlier. I feel like I'm just not staying down there just long enough that I want to. So, a little bit about staying in a strike zone sometimes. So, trying to re-pick this apart, right? It seemed like I had something going, catching those nice sized mangroves and the jacks and whatever, but the jacks will still probably bite. I thought maybe shooting over to that other side. It's too sloppy. I'm moving around too quick. I don't like how I can work it. So let me just try to see if going heavier, and then that boat, you know, claimed where I was working through. So I had to just go right back over, and I'd probably have to come up this way to not fight. Anyway, these are like small details that are in my brain right now. Okay. And really, like, the best fish we can catch on this small bridge is probably, you know, we'll hook that tarpon again, get him to stick for a little longer. That snook, right? That was kind of cool. Maybe, you know, the magical permit, right? But let's see if this heavier jig head's going to help stay down a little longer. It should. Maybe it won't. I don't feel like I'm down that much longer, a little bit. Still getting blown away though. really down much longer, man. I think I have to like, I think that boat really hit like what was going to be the easiest spot for me to sit on at least. I blame my problems on somebody else. No bites. No bites there, man. Dang it. What happened here? Oh, man. See, you can see I'm like mentally breaking down even. Casts are getting sloppier. Just a little everything, man. Some small bites there. And I'm not getting to the bottom on a half an ounce either right now. Scratching my head. Really gotta get closer to these pilings then. This outgoing tide's tricky. I can't figure this out. Can't. Yeah, I gotta fish the tubes that side. It's just the difficulty of getting the right presentation with that cross current. See how that's, I feel like that's where it's at, but the conditions won't let me do that is what I think we're at. I can't get it done on either side now. What do we do, guys? What do we do? What do we do? What are we gonna do here, gang? This side's getting too fast. That other side was too chunky or sloppy. Yeah, this is pumping. All right. Maybe heavier on this side is what all I needed to do, huh? Losty. Like that incoming tide better. That's all I'm thinking. Maybe I'll figure it out. I did like that incoming better. Just give me a minute. least I'm getting bites here. I am. They're just not good. Oh, there we go, finally. It's a better fish, whatever that is. All right, we got him out. Bigger jack. Got puddled away from the bridge. I think it's just a bigger jack. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Okay. Those 10-pound ones. Yeah, it's a jack. Ain't that big, but that little medium heavy rod, medium light rod, big enough to give me a tussle. Big enough for any tourists. Oh no, I got my pants. All right, figured it out. I think again, another round of it. We gotta do this. It's another nice thing you can do here. I hit cruise control. This way I'm not getting sucked into that bridge current. I can get this guy out of here. Yeah, we're good. Thanks, dude. Maybe going a little heavier is all we need. You see that? Yeah. This current's fast. I'm gonna have a hard time filming and talking properly. You know, you get those moon tides. These fish are not in the same spots they might always be, etc. Trying my best though. I think this is where a spot lock would be better, right? Like right now I have this pedal kayak, and I can manage, I can hit the reverse here, and that works, but having that spot lock and just get you in a more comfortable spot. Like how that boat's sitting there just throwing their live baits at this bridge. I think that's what you want. Trying to back up and jig. This is work, you know. This is not easy multitasking. I'm barely getting to the bottom with a ½ ounce as well, so. Just a little bit. I'm down there now. Slow pitch jigs would work pretty good. I haven't had a bite though, man. Since that last jack. It's like crazy how it just changes. Oh, he cut me. Whatever that was had teeth. He just went bloop. Yeah, that was something with teeth. Instant. Okay. Gotta back up then. Oh, man. This is where this gets tough. Yeah, see, on an edited video, we're already done. I wouldn't say we're done, but all that action, that was good. Like those nice snappers, that happened in 30 minutes. Now this is like got no idea. First of all, I just sucked up a bunch of grass, right? I get blown into this current. Then we got to re-rig. Yeah, this ain't easy. Boat's laughing at me. This Guggen trying to spin around and do all this stuff right now. Probably a barracuda or a needlefish hit my freaking line there. This is where it starts to really suck. All right, 5. You'll turn faster with that speed assist, though. That's one thing that's definitely, without a doubt, you do. Okay. Let's see what else we got to work with here, man. Gotta go heavier. Oh man, I wanted to do, really, the main deal I wanted to do was the Gulp shrimp, man. That was working pretty good. Well, I think I gotta go heavier. It's probably hard to tell. That wind's grabbing my braid pretty hard right there. This is why I don't like. I like that swivel better. Okay, good. Gulp shrimp. We switch off the Gulp shrimp. No, we gotta stick with it. If we got any more jigs for it, rather. That should be the... If I got anything else I could fish with it, I should stick with it. Yeah, that was a nice drop off. Current really picks up right about there. Probably hard to, until you jump in a kayak though, man. It's like you watch this and see this unedited stuff of me just now, trying to multitask and talk and do anything. You know, it's just like, I think if you've never really been in a kayak, you're like, oh, that's why he seems so mentally cooked. You know, you see how much goes on sometimes. All right. Back to the barefoot. Long time out break, you know, having a mystery break off. What was that? Probably 4 or 5 minutes of fishing time I lost. I did want to stick with this lighter rod though. I didn't want to switch tackle, honestly. But I don't know, it's hard. Sometimes, you know, a little bit of gauge. So I'm probably going to turn this camera just a little bit because we're mostly going to be fishing behind us now because we got to turn fish up current, but I don't know how big the strike zone is. You know, I know next to the pilings is pretty good, but should be fishing, you know, how far out? All right, we got something there. That's who broke me off, I think. This fudge packer. Needlefish. And then he tangles you up. Grab my braided line to fluorocarbon knot. Okay. It's like, yeah, what happens is that I'm moving along so much that it's not like back there where I could just face the tide or kind of figure out my zone very easily. Here it's definitely a little bit more tricky. And the grass too. Currently, an outgoing tide is on my naughty list. Right? Let's say that. Yeah, I could try to cast into this. I mean, this is like, doesn't have any real good features to it. Might have a short mutton snapper or two though. Let's make 1 or 2 casts. It's definitely like an eddy, fast current, slow current right there. Yeah, there's gonna be jacks there and stuff like that probably. I don't have any barracuda tubes, otherwise I'd look on that sandbar too, I guess. Let's see what's up on the bar, it's jack. Hey, short mutton. Those mutton snappers do set up in spots similar to red drum. Let's say that. If you got a good spot for red drum, well, mutton snappers will do the same thing. They got to be 18 inches to keep though. But I already got 2 fish in the cooler that I'm, you know, really looking for. I'm sure there's a few more there, but I find the jack crevalles and the mutton snappers are very likely to overlap a spot sometimes too. More than the mangroves. Like, I won't catch mangroves and muttons in the same spots. It's hard now, man. Oh man, I wish I had a 4-hour video of me knocking them dead. Oh, let's just talk other stuff then, man. Gulp shrimp. Gulp shrimp was solid, man. Solid choice. Got to do one with these paddle tails. There's a couple of the other bridges, man. I've done okay on the other ones too. Usually all these little bridges do have something to do for the most part. Some are going to be better than others though. On these moon tides, maybe even another bridge would have been the best choice. I do feel like on the moon tide you want to go into the areas with where the current's going to work for you at its best. So it's like, I think a lot of the mangroves are probably tucked back under their holes, right? Into their ledges and stuff. The jacks are still probably patrolling. It seemed like the jacks were still semi-consistent on that side. Same with those mutton snappers, probably. Also notice, one thing I'm noticing too, now that the current picked up, this jig started spinning, right? I don't think it's the jig's fault. I think it's the Gulp shrimp being a kind of an awkward bait. Gotta get back a little closer to this dude. Rather not, but might be what's called for. See, yeah, I'm spinning now. Oh, that's not good, man. I think I need to take this off. Especially since I don't have any heavier jig heads. I'm watching it come in now, and I'm helicoptering in. I don't know. A bite there, though. There's so much grass now, too. Ah. Mind you, 7 Mile Bridge the other day when I had the I couldn't even get to the like fishier zones. My presentation was too sloppy. That's what this really reminds me of. Oh, man, there's still a few fish around there. Shallower, actually. I had a few bites here, actually. Wasn't sticking though. These little grunts probably. I don't know why everything got so weird. Oh. Here we go. Oh, suck. Sailor's Choices, maybe, or something like that. Stay away from this outgoing tide, ladies and gentlemen. Man. Alright, let's take this Gulp shrimp. One more cast. I think I gotta retire at that. right. Man, we haven't caught one of these in, it's probably been like 30, 40 minutes. Smaller ones. Those bigger ones are in those tubes though, I think. They really, I think maybe those slow pitch jigs would have worked. I don't have any more left. I'm waiting for Meg to bring me a couple. But when she gets here in a week, but I think those would have worked. That sandbar is nice though. See how that drops right into this deeper water here? Definitely gonna be a couple of those muttons up there. Grunts and muttons. No. Got him out. Foul hooked you. Sorry, dude. Let me see if I could do something here. I see this right here. This is not ripping that hard right there. Maybe I can just drop anchor here. Chill out for a minute. Let me see. I gotta get up on it though. It's like a sandbar, a little bit of grass. Yeah, it's pretty shallow. I screwed that up. We can get this done. Hang on. I think I can. Let me see. I think I can drop anchor here somewhere. It's like a couple of nice sand patches. It rises up. I feel like this isn't that hard, especially like the way this current is right here. I'm facing totally the wrong way. How did I do such a thing? There's like a pothole and it rises up on a sandbar. I'm hoping to grab on the sandbar right now. I think it's too fast actually. Now I'm really sitting on this. A lot of small fish there. Oh, that barracuda, that needlefish is there. Man. Oh, my rudder's caught up. I was like, what's going on here? I'm holding. I think I'm holding, yeah. Maybe not. That wind's gonna push me off though. Look at that spot lock. No. There I go, sliding off. Just hoping that would work. So many small grunts and stuff. I'm missing them left and right. Weather's taking a turn. Man, I don't know. I'm gonna retire that Gulp shrimp, man. That's it. Ain't working for right now. Got this diesel minnow. That definitely won't work. That's way too light. We gotta go heavier. I think ½ ounce is what I need. Somewhere around there. Diesel. What is this one? Jerk shad? I think it's a Berkeley jerk shad. Yeah, that should work. Sorry, Z-Man. This is a Z-Man jerk shad. This should work for what I need it to do right now. And we're getting some rain clouds moving through. All right, let's wind this guy up. All right. I don't know if you can see the clouds out there. It's getting dark, man. Oh man, it's been an embarrassment for you and me the last hour. These fish are really in these tubes mostly. See, like I hooked that one. It's getting right to the surface, man. What is it? Yellow jack? Oh, it's the first one of these. That's a bar jack. Yeah, bar jack. That's a pretty fish. It's a Z-Man jerk shad. Fish are really, like, they're all like right there. Current's so strong. I'm pretty much in full reverse and I'm barely budging right now. There we go. Finally, as soon as you get into that like real strong suction of that current there, you're in it. Got some weather coming. Oh, that looks perfect. Like it's one of the few spots I'm like sitting pretty right now. On a 1/2 ounce jig, I'm barely getting down there in 10 feet. On a 1/2 ounce. Let's see, have you watched this change of like pressure with me too? Like everything's kind of changed since we got started. Went from sunny and bright to now we have all this heavy cloud cover, and the bite kind of shut off with it, right? I mean, between this ridiculous outgoing tide, that's it. I mean, I'm not getting taps really. That bar jack was like the first bite. I mean, there's a couple of grunts near where that boat is, I think. Maybe small mangroves, but like, I mean, those little jacks aren't biting here. Maybe they're all on that side only. But like, even that side, last time we went over there, it was ripping. I think the mangroves would be where the current's not as strong too, like in these zones. But I think they're just like, yo, this tide's too strong. Well, I'm gonna chill towards slack again. I think that's what the mangroves do too, man. I don't know. I think they like a strong tide though. Or maybe they're kind of spooked to the kayak, like everything still seems to prefer me casting at them. Right now we just got a bite here. It's definitely a fish I cast at. Yeah, it's a mangrove again. Too smart, man. That's what it is too. They know that kayak's right there. They feel that pedal spinning, making it sound like these fish can see you coming from a mile away. I feel like they can. I do. Oh, what is it, Jack? Got something there. Wonder if the tarpon stay on the down current side or he's on the other side right now. That one tarpon. Could be more though. I feel like I should take a look at that radar in a second here. Good thing is we do have plenty of safety zones if something real nasty shows up. Got my sweater back there too. I think I got hung up there, yeah. I wonder if that's the same spot. All right, here's how we got to do this though. Power on. Hard. Even that much current. I hope I don't break off another jig here. Oh, we got it back, thankfully. Some kind of squishy. Well, on the squishy side. Oh boy. Hard. This got really tough, man. I feel like I've lost all connection with whatever I built earlier. And now I'm just throwing lures in the dark. I had a system where I thought I was catching fish pretty good. Some consistency to it. And now I've got no feel for it. And that's what it is, man. This ain't bluegill fishing right now. Before it felt like it was kind of bluegill or brim. Maybe there's like a tucked in area here. There's a few fish are stacked up right now. That's really what it's got to be somewhere. It's like got to be a concentration of fish. But all this right now is just not giving me anything. Nothing I can work with, rather. This is where you troll along the bridge and hopefully pick something. Like, this stuff's getting sucked in immediately. It's like gone. I think I need to be in that zone where that boat is. Just be out of the wind a little more. Right now that wind's crushing on my back. So can't really be here is gonna work. I think I'm hitting the point where I'm out of ideas though. I think it's a little slower here. I think it is actually. Okay. Let's go back to that Gulp shrimp then. Or maybe the wind dropped out with that storm that's over in my zone. I definitely got that cloud cover. Yeah, it definitely dropped out here, the wind, current. Question is there any fish here? 6 feet. Probably. Fish? No, 0. But current's mild, Elias, enjoy it. Oh, finally had a bite. Oh, dropped him though. Current's mild, good enough right now. I was really shallow, like 3.5 feet. See that rain out there? A lot to learn from this video. If you really want to pick it apart though, man, that hot bite with the bigger snappers, the Gulp shrimps, going what colors, and the shutdown between the tide and the change of environment, like how everything changed, like temperature dropped, tide's ripping. I mean, these are not fishing like, you know, even those mangroves, right? I was saying how they're kind of a trickier fish. If I told you I caught those to an Elias launching this kayak right now, and then I came out here right for this outgoing, I'd be like, this guy was full of shit. There's no way he caught those mangroves today. I haven't had a decent bite from one of these things in hours. And I would agree with him, man. Like, this doesn't feel like what it did earlier. bit, a little bit, a little bit. Up in that tube. Hey, there's one. Might have moved shallower. It's a pork chop right there, man. So I think they moved then. I guess, I don't know. Chop, chop, chop. A couple smears of raindrops here, sorry. I know it's annoying. I gotta figure out what to do about that. Make those Rain-X products and stuff like that, but it don't seem to work that well. Uh-oh. 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 Am I getting rained out right now? Might be. Getting close to wrapping it up, but you definitely want those Gulp shrimps, man. I feel like now with this ripping current, those slow pitch jigs I was using at 7 Mile, they do well. I don't have any with me, but I feel like now that's like the first thing that's going through my head. What do I want to tie on? I wanted to catch more of those mangroves. Getting a little bit of rain here. Nothing heavy. Not yet. No, boy. Should we go back under the bridge to weather the storm? Got something. Oh, I missed him. I think the tide slowed down a little bit at least. Alright. I'm gonna have to get where that boat is and getting pelted with rain. It's one thing, wind in your face. You got 20-mile-an-hour wind plus rain. This part does suck a lot. See how it is here. If it's just as bad, I'm out of here soon then. That's not so bad under here. Gotta get where that boat is then. It ain't so bad under here actually. Yeah, we gotta wait for this to pass. Alright. Oh man. Get back under this bridge. What am I doing here? Woo. Oh, that's much better. I don't know. Are you still with me? That was nasty. Alright, let's get down under here. Wind's coming from this direction, so it's just gonna take me a second to get over there. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Car's right here, so I don't feel like I'm going to gain much out of this anymore. Well, lots to learn today. I don't think I've put out a video I could think of where me walking you through it where there's so much about a day of fishing that went down that I like this has. And this change of weather, the types of fish, going down with a different lure selection this go. Yeah. Nothing like the last time. Nothing at all. I'll try this shoreline here. Take it from there. It's got a cover on. Why do you put a cover on a Yamaha? That's my question. You know? Someone explain it to me. Why do you put a cover on a Yamaha? My big question. Good thing I didn't go anywhere else. I was thinking about that today too. Let's make a couple casts here. Oh, I guess it protects the paint on the logo. You need to resell it. Alright. This is totally fishable here. Super shallow. I ain't getting rained on at least. Guess I'm going to hang out for another 10 minutes here. Look how fast this current's moving now. Man, that is whipping. For sure. Really whipping. It's tough now. It's got so tough. What's this on here? A little tree branch. I got quiet, man. I got quiet too. Also, it's hard to talk around a boat and then try to figure out what to do. I think we got to call it a day. This is probably the zone I could fish without getting pelted by the rain. But alright, I ain't having fun no more. You need to be out there in that zone where that boat's right there. So, I mean, the only reason I need to be there is so I'm not getting hit by 20-mile-an-hour wind with that rain. It is lighting up now. Well, it's 1:30. Give it a couple more minutes, I think. Alright, let's try one other thing then. Gotta keep that camera dry is the problem. Got this port open, so I can't put myself in that wind and rain. per se, but let's see. Try a little bit back from the bridge here. See what's back here. Yeah, 'cause right now I've got the battery pack, and the camera battery pack gets wet. That's like, it's a big problem. It means I gotta go buy a new camera after that, probably. So that's why I'm being a little bit of a whiny little biatch. All right. Current's way too strong for the Gulp shrimp right now. Jackhole. There's a lot of fish back here. Oh, there's for sure a ton of fish back here. Lots of these things down there. Okay. Saw that. I don't know if you saw that other one following it up. Like shell shocked as I got soaking wet. I'm drying off quick though, at least. Yeah. Fast. What's that? Doesn't feel like a jack. Yeah. Oh, monster mangrove. Look at that on the jerk shad. Look at that mangrove, man. Wow. Almost 16. Your lucky day. Man. Alright, pack some jerk shads too then. It's a 1/2 ounce Berkeley jig head. Well, I had to cut it down a little bit, but the Z-Man jerk shads out of the packs have kind of a weird shape. Like they're fat. And if you need something like thinner, a little bit more of that razor thin profile. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of nice mangrove snappers though. That full moon tide's got them biting here for sure. Nice cast a lot. It's really nice. Surprised we didn't get a mutton. Maybe we would have thought we might get a keeper mutton somewhere here. So they have pushed further down too, I think. This is such a different day than the last time we did this stuff. This is like striper fishing now. Like when you bridge fish for stripers, it's like really churned up and moving hard. That's what this reminds me of. This is badass fishing though. There's definitely a shark or two here though. That has to be. When the water looks like this is the sharkiest looking water I've ever seen. When you get these swirls like this. Great day, great day. And that's like, what did I get? Like 4 mangroves that were, 3 or 4 mangroves that were 14 inches. Like, that's great for artificial lure fishing. Lost 1 or 2 jigs. Soaking wet. I'm going to be dried out to the bone. I need like an ounce. Like a 1 ounce Mackinaw might have been a good choice right now even. Where to put those pliers after that storm went through. That's the mass this organization started. Oh no. There they are. Sorry, dude. Back to the food chain you go. Learned a ton about fishing the Keys today. Hope you did too. Because We got a lot of fish. Got wet, got dry. Up to Tarpon. Saw a big old snook sunning. Big to me, rather. Got another fish on. Probably just another jack. Oh, maybe not. I still can't tell the difference sometimes with the hits. It's another. I mean, I can tell sometimes when there's that pop. That does get me a little confused at times. If it's a jack or a mangrove, something like that. Still got that wind. Jerk shad's doing pretty well. At least, sorry, it's getting down there at least. That gulp shrimp wasn't getting down there anymore. So much easier at live bait in a boat though, watching this guy do it. Just sitting there chilling, drinking a beer. Grunt hunt. Yikes. Back under the bridge, more rain. No! Last few fishings made from sugar. Blown away at times here. Alright, we gotta retire this one. Jerk shad's not bad. I prefer the zoom flukes though at the end of the day. I find these things harder to rig and they twist and like right now my hands are wet. See. I almost got it. I think I got it. Hard to rig, man. See, the Z-Man, this the thermoplastic materials, tough tugger, all that stuff. When it's dry, easy to rig. Your hands are wet, slimy with something, forget it. Game over. Alright, I think I'm ready. Got that icing on the cake mangrove. Got wind pounding me in my back right now. Nowhere really else to fish that makes too much sense. Besides where that boat's at, that's where I could get a couple more drifts in, I think. But I think we're done. Whew, man, I have taken a weather-related shock. I got real quiet with this new batch of weather that moved through. There's still fish here, but that exhausted me going through this trauma, wind trauma. I think it's time to go. I hope you guys had fun. For some of this, I don't think you had fun for most of it. Wow, we got to spend some time on the water where it started off more fun than it ended. That's for sure. One big bonus mangrove. I can't even cast. That's how windy it got. Oh my gosh. I'm out here, not under the bridge, I'm getting blown away. Yeah, that's hilarious. We're done. This is give up. I give up. Had a great day though, man. It was very different. See you the next time the next little bridge adventure brings. Cloudy weather in the Keys ain't easy. That's all I know. Cold fronts and cloudy weather. Man. Alright, I think I'm done here. That wind has gotten to the point I can't, if I'm not totally planted on the bridge, I can't fish. And then the current's really strong with it. Hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. So there was like one or two spots to fish, but we had like a bunch of pretty good sized mangroves. I can only fish a small quadrant right now, and I think that's time to go. So hope you guys enjoyed. What a mess I was. Had a good time overall though. Whew. That wind's, it's cooking out here, man. Let me get out of here. Thank you all for watching. I hope that was enjoyable. I tried my best. I did. Later. Check the video's description links, everything used. Can't believe I filmed that. Hopefully that's not a botch.